Hello, this is Kirill from forexboat.com and welcome back to the course on testing and optimization in MetaTrader 4. In today's tutorial, we will finish the topic of importing data into the trading platform, and we will be talking about importing third-party data. Importing third-party data implies that you get your data from a external provider, such as a broker, and you download it from their website and then you upload it into MetaTrader 4. Now, unfortunately, not all brokers provide their data, and I'm not sure why that is the case, because if I were a broker, I would definitely put out my MetaTrader 4 historical data onto the website so people could download it and use it in their backtests, but not all brokers do that. However, there are a few, for example, FXDD and Oanda, I think, does it, and maybe a couple more. So if you go to Google and you look for something like FXDD MT4 data, then you'll be able to find their page here, which is this one. And here they have MetaTrader 4 1-minute data. They do have an instruction on how to upload it, but we'll go through that today. Here is a selection of certain currency pairs which you can download. As you can see, I've already downloaded the British pound, franc, Australian dollar, yen. Let's look at another one. Let's look at New Zealand dollar, US dollar. I just wanted to show you the size. The size of these files isn't that great. It's about 30 to 40 megabytes, and there are zip archives. So once you unzip them, they look something like this. This is an example of American dollar, Canadian dollar. So if we go to our MetaTrader 4 platform now, and we go to Tools, History Center, and you open the American dollar, Canadian dollar currency pair, if you go to M1, you'll see that it's empty right now, and some data will be requested from the broker. There it is. But how do we import our downloaded data? So now instead of clicking download, what we're going to do is we're going to go import. And here you need to find your file. In my case, it's located on this path. So you select your file, and originally, more than likely, this window will be blank, so there won't be a preview. So just click OK, and then do that procedure again. Click import, and then you'll see what I see now, a preview of your file. So if you click OK, all of these records will be loaded into MetaTrader 4, and as you can see, we have 1-minute time frame bars all the way from 2005. So that's great, and that part is done. But now we have a question: how do we get all this data into the other time frames? How do we update the 15-minute time frame? If you go here, it's empty. The 1-hour time frame, they're all empty right now. And how do we use the 1-minute data to update this data, because maybe we need that for testing. As you can see here, some data was requested from the server, but it has nothing to do with our 1-minute data over here. So how do we do that? Well, there is a standard procedure, and I'll show you how it's done right now. So we're going to close that, and you need to now go into your navigator and go into the scripts folder, and here you need to find the period converter. This is a script that is pre-packaged with every MetaTrader 4 on the planet. MetaQuotes puts it in MetaTrader 4 specifically for this purpose, to be able to recalculate timeframes, and it is extremely simple to use, and I will demonstrate that right now. So if we open a chart, the US dollar Canadian chart, and we go to the 1-minute time frame, here I'm just going to uncheck the auto scroll, and I'm going to zoom out. You'll notice that if I click the home button, we go all the way back to 2005, which is good, which means that our data is being displayed in the terminal. Now, if we go to the 5-minute time frame, on the other hand, and we go click home, the furthest we can go is around September 2014, or maybe more data will be loaded, but this is not the data that we imported. So let's go back to the M1 period. And here what we want to do is we want to launch the script. So now take and drag the period converter onto the chart. Before we go to the inputs, make sure in the common section you've got allow DLL imports, and generally that up here you've got auto trading allowed. And allow DLL imports is important because this script has a dependency, has the user 32 DLL, so just make sure that that box is checked. And if you go to inputs, here you need to select a multiplier. So we're working with the 1 minute time frame, and we want to calculate the 5 minute time frame, so we need to put 5 in here. So we're going to click OK. If you look at your terminal window, that's the one where you can see your balance, your account history. If you go into the experts tab, you'll see that it's got some messages here, that the script was loaded, and that it's written a certain number of records. So what we want to do now is we want to, once it's finished, we want to right click and remove script. And when that's done, we need to close the terminal and we need to open it again. So basically restart the terminal so that it picks up this new file that has been created. And now if we go to the 5 minute time frame of this currency pair and we click home, you'll see that we're going all the way back to 2005. And we can also check that through the history center. If we go double click M5 and scroll down, you see that we're in 2005. 716,000 records, just over that. So that's exactly how you convert data. You can do that for any time frame. Just get your multiplier right. So if you want to do 15 minutes, it'll be a 15. If you want to do 1 hour, it'll be a 60, and so on. Those are pretty simple to calculate. But the thing is, you have to do it for all the time frames that you need in your backtest. That's done. And before we finish this tutorial, I just wanted to show you an interesting thing. If you go to File and you go Open Data folder, here it is. What you'll see is this is the data folder for this terminal. And if you go to History and then you select your server, then you'll find all the files, all the history files of this terminal. So if you ever need to delete some history in order to upload it, or you just want to be sure that the history you're importing or downloading from MetaQuote is the right one, you can always just delete something, and I'll show you on an example. So we know that we've just seen we have the 5 minute time frame data. So I'm just going to close the terminal, and I'm going to go and just going to delete all of the US dollar CAD data. So get rid of them. They're not here anymore. So now if we launch the terminal, you'll see that the US dollar Canadian chart is updating, meaning that it doesn't have data. And we can also confirm that by going to the history center, double click, and there's nothing here. This has just been loaded from a broker and so on. So that's a very convenient way of cleaning your history. You don't have to delete records from here one by one. Just go into that folder and just get rid of them there. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and you found this information useful. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, happy trading.